All right. Welcome to the Secrets of Safety, Dog, where we go live most Mondays, not every Monday, but most Mondays at 1 o'clock. And we talk about CVOR. And if you can see it in my face, and if you think I seem excited today, yeah, baby, I am excited today because I just got notice that we were once again successful on an ASRA application to the MTO. We just got the letter. And I have to say, congrats to the MTO because they've come up with alternate safety risk assessment. That's what ASRA stands for. And it's an alternative to getting yourself a voluntary audit. So if you are conditional, if you have a conditional rating and you qualify, there's a bunch of qualifications. Not just everybody can get this done, but if you do qualify, you get a letter saying, hey, ASRA, yeah, baby, answer these questions, make a submission, and we'll see if we can change your rating without doing a facility audit, which is really cool. So I worked with another client, and then on Friday, I want to say about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, we hit submit on that. And the client forwarded me a letter today saying, yeah, baby, saying that the person that we submitted the ASRA application to agreed that they meet all of the qualifications, and they've asked the CVOR analyst to change the rating from conditional to satisfactory unaudited. And that means this particular customer will get out of facility insurance. Yes, they were in facility insurance. And because they are getting their rating changed, I have every belief that they will now get out of facility. They were excited, let me tell you. They've already forwarded that letter to their broker so that their broker is working diligently to get them out of facility insurance. So it's an exciting time. Anyways, let me tell you, I'm still pumped. I'm still excited that they were able to get out of get out of conditional rating, and they've gotten into satisfactory unaudited. I mean, it doesn't happen immediately. It does take some time to do. I have to admit, it'll probably take them 30 to 60 days to get their rating changed, because now what happens is the letter goes from the person who accepted the application to the CVOR analyst. The CVOR analyst has to do their work, and then they then send a letter out to my client saying, hey, we've proposed, if you don't object, we've proposed a rating change. And the rating change is going to be conditional, moving to satisfactory unaudited. You have 30 days to respond to this letter if you don't want us to make this change. So it takes another 30 days there, plus the waiting time for the CVOR analyst. And they're usually pretty quick, but the waiting time for the CVOR analyst to make their change. Anyway, I wanted to show you something today. I'm excited about ASRA if you haven't figured it out, and I love it when I get pumped up. But look at this. So what is this web page here? This web page is Carrier Safety Rating Inquiry. This is what is public about your company. And for just a few dollars, you can pull anybody's level 1 CVOR. And that's basically what, well, this doesn't do that. This tells you what their rating is. So, but what I wanted to show you here was this one here. Look at this. Want to achieve satisfactory safety rating? Look what MTO's put up here for you. I think this is awesome. MTO's done a great job in helping educate the trucking community, at least those of you who want to look and read about this stuff, who want to do it. They've got great resources here online. And I'm excited about this one because, quite honestly, I just found it. So Annual inspections. They start off talking about the annual inspections for pickup trucks and trailers, commercial vehicle safety, and they go right through. Hey, if you had a wheel separation, oh my God, that's a bad one, but you got to address it. And truck speed limiters, they talk about that. They talk about the safety inspections, whether it's annual, semi-annual, or safety standard certificates. They talk all about that right here. And of course, what the inspections have to cover, a failed inspection. Then they get into daily pre-trip or daily inspections. These are the ones that need to be done by your drivers, of course. And then they talk about hours of service and what all the requirements there are. Then they get into dangerous goods, cargo securement, annual inspections with links to the regulations. Oh my goodness, this is so good. All this stuff. All right, so I would encourage you, I'll put the link to this page in the show notes down below. So really good stuff. Congrats, MTO. I love what you are doing for the trucking community. The next page I wanted to show you, because I was talking about ASRA, because I'm pumped about it all, I wanted to talk a little bit about ratings today. So what are the ratings? Hello, whoever it is, drop me a comment, say hi. I just checked there to see that there is somebody on board and watching. But again, the ratings, getting back to ratings, if your on-road performance, as they say right here, on-road performance, and you have an audit score, if your audit score was between 80 and 100, you just might be rated excellent. If you are below 15% of your OVR. So that's what this is telling you here, from 0 to 15% of your overall violation rate. And there's some other qualifications. You just might be excellent if you scored above 80 in the audit. If you didn't score above 80, but you did score in all categories 55 to 80, well, then you're rated satisfactory. And of course, if you failed the audit, this is how you become conditional, or one of two ways that I know of to become conditional. So, because we're going to talk about the second way to become conditional in just a second. And then if you don't have an audit and your numbers are between 0 and 15%, you are satisfactory unaudited. Well, what happens if you are between 15 and 70%? Generally speaking, you can see that they've got the little asterisks there and they tell you to go look down below. But if you are between 50 and 70 and you pass the audit with a great score of over 80, well, you're satisfactory. And if you pass the audit and you're over 55 to 80% on the audit score, you are satisfactory. And of course, again, if you failed the audit, you are conditional. Once again, no audit, as long as you are below 70%, no audit, you are rated satisfactory unaudited. However, make sure you understand that once you breach 50% for the OVR, overall violation rate, you get onto the list of, we might just come and audit you. That's the MTO's first threshold level, or actually it's a second threshold level of intervention. The first one is 35%, you get that warning letter. At 50%, you go on the list of, you just might get audited. But once you breach 70% here, if you are between 70 and 100, this is the other way that you can become conditional. So one way to become conditional is over here where you fail the audit, you are conditional. See, right across the board. But if you also go over 70%, that's the other way you become conditional. Well, how do you get rid of that? If you went over 70 and you're under a 100, but if you went over 70, you've got to get it below 70, remain below 70, actually remain below 60 for 6 months, and then it will automatically change back to your previous rating, which is likely satisfactory unaudited. So it takes 6 months and you got to get it below 60%. that's how you change that one. But if you failed an audit, the only way to unfail an audit, basically, is to have another audit. And now with the addition of ASRA, you request a facility audit. And if you qualify for ASRA, that's the other way to do it. And then once your threshold breaches 100%, my goodness gracious, if you get over 100%, and this does happen, apparently about 2% of the trucking companies do breach 100% on their overall violation rate, you become unsatisfactory, and you are going to be called down to St. Catharines for a meeting. Your insurance company is going to be doing backflips and saying, we want to get off risk. All kinds of bad things are going to happen with that. So just wanted to touch on that real quick today. And the last thing I did want to show you here is the ELDs, the list for your Canadian or Canada certified, Transport Canada certified ELD list has not grown this week. Again, I check it pretty much every week just to keep myself informed, you informed, and Keep Truckin' was the last significant addition. Congrats, Keep Truckin', because Trimble's got something to do with oil and gas. I don't know about it, so I can't really speak to it, but they got approved 2 weeks ago. So good stuff. Don't forget that everybody who is required to have a paper log in Ontario, on June the 12th of 2022, so this coming June, you will be required to have an ELD. And Ontario wisely has said we are going to use the same ELDs as what the federal government has tested and approved. And this is that list. So make sure that when you are talking to an ELD supplier, that you make sure that they are going to be Transport Canada approved. Recently, I know Geotab, who is not on this list yet, issued a letter saying that they will give you significant money to change ELD vendors if you have to. They are very confident that they will soon be on this list as well. Great many companies that are on this list. I mean, Hutch Systems, Pedigree, don't know them, but Isaac, I do know of them. They are on the list. Samsara. Now be careful. Also, I would just want to mention that there are different versions. And so if you are buying an ELD and you happen to be purchasing a Samsara, which is a fine device, make sure you get the correct version, VG34. They have other devices for sale, and I know this. All right, they have other devices for sale. You don't want the other ones. You only want the one that is Transport Canada approved. They have submitted other devices, I'm told, Samsara, and they expect more to be added to the list. But for now, they've got one device approved, so make sure you get the approved device. And of course, Fleet Complete is on here. Another great Canadian company, by the way, Fleet Complete. Geotab's a Canadian company, which is why I do like promoting Canadian companies. Yes, I'm a Canadian. All right, so with that, I think that is about it. Don't forget, let me hit the, there. Let me hit that. There. Don't forget to listen to the Trucking Risk and Insurance podcast. This most recent episode, John Farquhar of Summit Risk Solutions and I were talking about high risk drivers and how they affect your company and how your insurance provider looks at those. So go to the Trucking Risk and Insurance website, which is .com, truckingriskandinsurance.com. You can pick up the latest episodes. All right, that's it for this week. John couldn't make it. I know John sends his regrets, but with that, 15 minutes, Safety Dogs out. Have a great day.